Hi everyone, Sandy here, back again with tutorial number 3 and the final tutorial video for my trunk mini album using Let It Snow paper collection by Carta Bella for Country Craft Creations. This is the cutting guide for the patterned paper. You will need 14 pieces of the pattern paper from the collection, cut to 6 3/8 inches by 4 3/8 inches to cover your pages. And then you want to also cut scraps of paper as I have designated here, depending on what you want to do for belly bands and pockets. So let's go ahead and get started on this, and I'll show you what I've used and fast forward a lot of this video showing you when I'm patterning the pages and doing some of the decorating on the inside. Okay, so I have selected the pattern papers, the sides that I want to use of this collection for my pages, and then I took some of my scraps and I cut different sizes, the length of the page if I wanted it to be vertical, or the width if I wanted it to be horizontal, to make some bands. And this is my hinge piece that I'm going to use to put these into the book. It is 6 inches by 1 inch, scored on the 1 inch side at a 1/2 inch. So this we cut in the earlier video 2, and we also have another piece of cardstock that we cut that was 6 inches by 2 inches that I decided later on that we do need to add in as extra support in this album. So let's take the 1/2 inch hinge, which is the 1 inch piece. It's scored in half, and you're going to attach it to the side, the back side of your pages. So just 1/2 of the hinge part is going to attach. You want the fold line to go along the back side of your pages, which here I've shown you would be the one with a cut edge, not a fold. And just line it up, center it and line it up. It is not the length of the full length. It's a 1/2 inch shorter, so you've got a 1/4 inch on each end. So you see here, there's your hinge, and that's what's going to hold it in. Now we're ready to add our pattern paper. If you've already cut yours, then you may want to go ahead and ink the edges. I'm going to ink mine real quick, and then I will fast forward this video. I'm going to put all my pattern papers on my pages before I put them into the trunk. So you're just going to glue these on. You should have the first one that opens to your left, and it makes it a little easier to open up your accordion pages, your fold outs, and pattern these, glue and attach these down with the pages flat. So I'm going to speed this up, and we're going to go ahead and pattern all our pages with the fold out outside of the trunk. Okay, so all the pages are covered with pattern paper, and now you can add some pockets and belly bands if you want to. I'm only going to put like 2 of each, one on each one side and then one on the back side of the flaps, because I want to keep most of this for my 4x6 photos. So you just decide which orientation you want your pockets to be. So for example, this one here could be a vertical pocket with a horizontal belly band on the opposite side. Now you can reverse these any way you want. You just cut the length of the papers the same as the pattern papers you put on your pages, and then you're just going to glue these in. So I have several cut out that I might choose from, but I'm actually only going to use a couple, 2 of the belly bands and 2 pockets in my album, because like I said, I want these mostly for 4x6 photos, so I'm going to leave them all plain without any pockets or belly bands on them. So to do a belly band for this, it's a flat belly band. I'm just going to add a bit of glue on each end, and then I will glue it where I want it on the page. So this one I'm going to put it on the center and press it down and let it dry. Just make sure that it's straight. and wipe off any glue. And then for the pocket, I'm going to put it on the other side, but I'm showing you the belly band. So I'm going to reverse this and ink these edges, and then I will put glue along one long edge and on each short end to create a pocket. Just like that. It's going to go right there on the up to the edge of the page. So here you put the glue on both ends, the short ends, and then along one long edge. This will create a flat pocket. You can do as many pockets and belly bands as you want, but I am only going to put 2 of each in my album. So I'll flip it over and add in the other off camera, and so I want to go ahead and show you how to put the pages into the trunk. Now, after I had attached the hinge to my page set and before I put in the trunk, I decided it needed to have been a little bit wider. So I cut the 6" by 2" piece here, and I am just making a note of that in my book so that I would make sure to tell you that in your cutting guide here on my video. So I have this little book that I keep notes in for the measurements, and I suggest that you also do that as you're watching videos from any of the country craft designers so that you have a written notes of the measurements for different projects, and you could write down the name of the project and the name of the designer to help you find the videos later. So now I'm taking the flap, I'm opening this up so I can get to it, the 1/2" flap that is sticking out free, and I'm putting glue just on one side, and I'm taking this 6" by 2" and I'm gluing it right up to the fold line of that 1/2" hinge, and I'm going to burnish it really well. This is going to give me this 2" extension that I think probably will be very helpful in putting this into the trunk and also to stabilize it and make it a little bit stronger. So I'm just burnishing both sides, and then I'm going to fold this up. So there we are, ready to put it into the trunk. So go ahead and grab your trunk and open it up, and this is going to go down into the bottom half of the trunk. So you will just glue this in. Now you need to center it top to bottom, side to side when you place this in. So this can be just a little bit tricky, not too terribly hard. I use the glue so I can move it around and get it in there. Yes, it's going to go down over that pretty pattern paper, but then we're going to add some more pattern paper inside to cover that up, so it's going to work out. Right now I'm just putting glue on the 2" piece, the back side, that will glue down into the box. So maybe move the box so you can see it a little bit better. And so I'm just going to place this down in here so that I have equal amounts of space around both sides and the top and the bottom of the pages. So just press that in and get it straight. Just scooting it with my bone folder to make sure it is straight. And then I'm going to open it up carefully, unfold everything to get down to that 2" piece of cardstock, and then really burnish it really well to make sure that it sticks. And so this just will fold up inside of your trunk. So now we need to cut a piece to pattern this section here. I'm going to make mine not solid. I'm going to take some scraps and trim it down to 6 inches tall. And I'm just thinking about how wide I want that. I think I want a margin of the trees around it, so I'm going to cut it at about, starting out with 5 inch. Let me see. I'm going to cut it at 5. That's going to be too wide. Yes, it is. So I'm going to change that. I'm going to use my ruler, and I suggest you do the same because you may want yours in a different location than mine. It looks like 4 inch, 4 1/4 maybe. So I'm cutting mine at 4 1/4. And then I want it to be, as I said before, I think 6 inches. You could just make this 4 by 6 if you wanted to, and then you could actually add a photo in there that would be the exact size of this. So I cut mine to 4 1/4 wide, and then I'm going to glue this down in here into the bottom of the trunk and hide that 2-inch piece of cardstock. Now you could put your pages in before you add that pattern paper. If I had thought about that ahead of time, I might have done that as well. So that's something you want to keep in mind, except that you need to have some space around it, so I don't think that would work out really well. I think this is probably the better way to do it. So let's go ahead and put glue down on the back of the paper and then just glue this down inside so that we have an equal amount around the edges. So it's like a photo mat glued down into the box to cover that 2-inch piece of cardstock that's our stabilizer. So now our pages are in our trunk and we're ready to do just a little bit more decorating. Now on this front page here, this could be considered the front of your album. You do need something like either ribbon or something that you can pull up on to help make it easier to unfold the pages. I have this metal ring that I received in one of my designer kits from Country Craft Creations, and I'm going to glue that to the front of my page. If you're gluing a pull down like I am, because it's going to be used to pull the pages up and down, you need to use a really strong glue, something like Glossy Accents or Nouveau's Glossy gel, or some strong glue. I think maybe something stronger than the art glitter. Art glitter might work, but I'm going to go ahead and use this Nouveau, and I've just put it on the back of the metal and I'm holding it in place, and I'm going to let it sit and dry really well before I do any decorating. So I've gone ahead and decorated the first page or the front of the album that's inside the trunk. I used stickers from the collection and also glued on some rhinestones and pearls to kind of match the front of the book. So this is what it looks like, and you just pull on it and all the pages come out. So now I'm going to put something here in the lid of the trunk. So I have cut a 4 by 6 mat, and if you notice, you can just put a 4 by 6 photo in your lid if you wanted to, but I made a mat that I matted with the navy blue artisan cardstock, and I also glued it on a piece of chipboard on the back to make it a little bit thicker. And I have these 2 sticker elements or fussy cut elements that I have cut out, and I'm going to mat them on there with foam dots so that they have some lift to them. So first I put them down, and then I'm going to have to move them because I have too much sticking out over the edge. So you got to make sure that you're planning this. You put your mat inside and see how much room you have around the side. So I'm going to go ahead and put these down and finish decorating the inside here. So I've rearranged the tree and the snowman so that they fit better on the photo mat, and now I'm going to glue this down into the lid of the trunk. So I'm going to center it, and I'm going to also add this little strand on twine of felt snowflakes that I had in my stash. These are the last 3 that I have. I just love these. I bought them several years ago after Christmas. They were on sale. They were like package trim. So I'm going to just glue it on each end where I've tied a knot on the twine. I'm going to put it behind the tree, and I'm going to use a clip to hold that while it dries. So I'm going to leave the center of it loose so that these snowflakes can be slid side to side and arranged where I want them. So I'm going to glue the other end behind the snowman. And then I think I will pick out several stickers, different words, and arrange those along the bottom. And there will still be room for like a small 2x2, 3x3 photo that you can slide in under the snowman and the tree if you want to put a photo in the back. I also added some snowflake stickers behind the snowman, and then I've decided to use foam dots to give it just a little bit more lift, even by applying dots onto the chipboard that I glued onto the back of the photo mat. And then I will place that centered into the lid of the box on the inside, or the lid of the trunk. Okay, I love how this turned out, and right here in the center, if you have a small photo, I'm just going to show you that you could still slip something in uh, behind the snowman on the edge and the tree. So you could add a small photo right there in the center. So there's the inside finished, and also the front of our album. Now I'm going to take some of the Nouveau glitter drops, and I'm going to add some glittery snow to the tree, a little bit on the snowman, probably some on the snowflakes, and then off camera I also added some to the elements on the lid of the trunk. So just add some sparkle to all that if you want to. One other thing I added to my lid of my trunk is I took some of the navy seam binding ribbon, and I tied a little antique looking key to the end of it, tied it in a knot, and glued it to the front lid of the trunk, and then covered that with a snowflake sticker. So you will see that in the finished photos or the showcase video that I will share later. And so this pretty much concludes this tutorial for this mini trunk album. It's a real fun project to make. You could do it with any type of collection. It would make a great wedding gift, baby gift, summertime, winter, whenever, Christmas. Just have fun with this tutorial. Create and use paper collections that you want to use. Be sure to check out the online store for countrycraftcreations.com. She has all the latest collections. She has your chipboard supplies, your glue, and the Nouveau elements that you can use on your projects, and the seam binding ribbon, as well as score tape and other supplies that you might need for your projects. So I want to thank you very much for watching. As I said, I will have a showcase video. All these videos will be in a playlist on my YouTube channel, so that it will be easy for you to find all of them when you're ready to work on your project. So again, thank you so much for watching my tutorial and for shopping at Country Craft Creations. I will have another project soon for you, so if you have not subscribed, please do so by clicking on subscribe on my channel here, and then also click on the bell so that you will receive notifications every time I upload a new video. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.